your group. It's time to step up to luxury. Fields matters because you matter.
We still got work to do, and that's why we've got a couple of weeks, all right? We can still improve on a lot of things, which we will, all right, and we'll be a better football team for us, all right? So, again, like I said before,
you gotta love a victory speech after a game, and Doug Marrone got to do that in Minneapolis, Minnesota after a very successful week for the Jacksonville Jaguars from the practice field to the game field. Hey, everybody, we are back at Mellow Mushroom in Avondale. The 2018 season kicks off, and we are going to have a ton of fun. Been in this business for 20 years. Last year was one of the most fun years ever to do this show here at Mellow Mushroom in Avondale, and we're back for hopefully another eventful season. Hey, everybody, I'm Brent Martineau, along with Jeff Lageman. It's Jaguars All Access, presented by Fields Auto Group. It was a lot of fun a season ago. We expect the same.
Well, I mean, the crowds just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I expected to do the same this year, which means the wins should continue to roll in.
They will need a couple of guys on the defensive side to contribute, and they were back contributing today at practice. The news of the day, Jalen Ramsey and Dante Fowler Jr. back inside the flex field to join the team for practice after a one-week suspension due to violating team rules.
Yeah, and I saw the reaction of a lot of different guys on the team, and I thought that they were acting like it was no big deal. You know, but I think the one thing that's going to be interesting is when Jalen eventually speaks to the media, or if he does speak to the media, because Jalen sometimes is unpredictable.
Yes,
and so roll the dice on what he's going to say. I don't know. I think Dante Fowler will be fine. The one thing, though, kind of to watch going forward, how does he get along with his teammates in the positional room? Because the last thing that we saw from him, there was a little bit of anger that he had directed towards his teammates.
We expect those guys to speak possibly this weekend at the earliest. Doug Marrone spoke this morning about the return of those two players.
I meet with a lot of players. I really do. I meet with players all the time. I talk to all the players, and it's the same thing. I mean, you know, I meet with them. I talk to them, but you know, I'm the same way. I'm going to keep those conversations private and keep moving along.
Doug Marrone's pushed all the right buttons to this point as head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see if this is another right button pushed. He's certainly saying the right things. All right, we can't wait for the regular season to get here. Hurry up, September 9th. But we do have to wait. And to this point, you like how the preseason has gone, don't you?
Well, you couldn't have asked for a better schedule. I mean, you're talking about 3 playoff teams, from the New Orleans Saints to the Minnesota Vikings to this Saturday against the Atlanta Falcons. The last game, meaningless 4th preseason game against the Bucs. What your preseason is all about is about getting better week in and week out. And to be able to do that against 3 really high-quality playoff caliber teams is absolutely perfect for a preseason.
And the Jags offense has had 2 really good drives, an 89-yard drive and a 15-play 7-minute drive against the Saints. And they've sputtered at times, too, but that's kind of the give and take of the preseason, isn't it?
And it is, and it's very hard to evaluate the preseason on offense, because as an offense, Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator, is not game planning. Blake Bortles is not checking out of plays a lot of times, even if it's a defense that says you can't run this play. That's just the way it is in the preseason. You know, the one thing, though, that I do like is that the offense has consistently been better on a day in and day out basis. And we're seeing less questions this year than we saw last year. And that means to me that this offense is going to take a step up. Now, how big remains to be seen.
And how about that defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars? We got a glimpse of that in Minnesota. They look dominant on the practice field and dominant in the game. I think they just put an exclamation point on how good they could be this year.
Well, to give people an idea how good were they in Minnesota, holy cow, Kirk Cousins had his debut at US Bank Stadium on Saturday and throughout the week against the Jaguars in practice. And the fans got to be going, wait a minute, we just paid this guy 3 years and $80 million guaranteed, and he can't even complete a pass for more than 15 yards against the Jaguars? I mean, holy cow, that's how good this Jaguars defense is. It doesn't matter what kind of quarterback.
And keep in mind, that was a defense without Ramsey, without Fowler, without Gibson, without a Smoot, you know, without Darius. I mean.
Yeah, but this defense still has number 93, the Calais Campbell. And I'm going to tell you, Brent, he had a great week of practice against the Vikings. He was kicking the you-know-what out of Riley Reith, their left tackle, and it was kind of bad at times.
We are going to check in with the mayor of Saxonville in just a bit down at Jags headquarters. But before we get to that, there were some pretty good-looking plays in that game Saturday night.
This is the Baptist Game-Changing Moments.
Oh, and the game-changing play, the game-winning play, Rashad Green. Did he just win himself a job?
Well, that's a great question, and I don't know if we're going to know the answer until the Saturday before the regular season opener. But Rashad Green, 56-yard punt return, takes it down to the 4-yard line, which enabled the Jaguars to 2 plays later score the go-ahead touchdown. What a great play by Rashad Green, and I'm going to say this now. Excellent punt return. Okay, Jadon Mickens had a couple excellent punt returns as well that didn't get as noticed as much because they didn't go as long, but he saved the Jaguars from a lot of hidden yards.
That continues to be a position battle we'll talk about later in the show. Baptist game-changing moment number 2, and I was yelling from the sideline, Jeff, slide number 5, slide number 5. It's the preseason.
But he's just not wired that way, right? I mean, a 3rd and 15, and he's going to tuck it and run it in the preseason and gain 14 yards and make the coaches have to make a 4th and 1 decision, which they go for and they score on. But, yeah, absolutely right. You would like to see the starting quarterback not do this in the preseason, but I appreciate his toughness because his toughness, both mentally and physically, is truly unique.
Game-changing moment number 1, and you just go to the defense. They set up that drive for Blake Bortles with this.
Well, and you got to remember, right before this play happens, Blake throws an interception to Harrison Smith. The defense answered. Now, I know that Malik Jackson gets credit for this, but if you look at the coach's film and slow it down, the ball is coming out when Ngakoue hits him right there, and then Malik Jackson's hand comes in and just literally misdirects the ball. So I think it's got to be a shared cause fumble. But another example of this defense doing exactly what they did last year, big plays at key moments.
We got a big home preseason game coming up on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. That one will be on Fox 30, by the way, your official Jaguars stations. Here's a live look right now at TIAA Bank Field. The Jaguars are meeting inside the bank right now. That game on Saturday night presented by Next Grill against the Falcons.
You know, what you're saying right there, they're meeting in there right now. Most of the teams in the National Football League have already broken training camp.
They have.
Not this football team. Doug Marrone and Tom Coughlin believe in one thing: hard work and take advantage of every minute you can possibly have legally or under the collective bargaining agreement, I should say.
Hopefully they let a couple of guys out of the meeting for a moment, because the mayor of Jacksonville will join us all season right here at Mellow Mushroom in Avondale, but could not tonight because of the meetings and team obligations. But inside that Jaguars locker room is, there he is, the star of the show, Calais Campbell.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here with the great Myles Jack. Hey, man, what's going on with you today, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Coming off a preseason game, moving on to the Falcons. Feeling good, though. Getting ready for a new week.
Yeah. What would you say, this is what, your 3rd training camp?
3rd.
And how would you feel like the difference between now, how it was between years 1 and 2?
Obviously year 1 we was under a different regime, so it was a little bit more, it was just a different type of tempo. Last year, you didn't really know what to expect. This year, we kind of got an idea what to expect, but I definitely say this is one of the toughest training camps. Even though I've only been through 3, that's definitely the toughest one. Yeah.
They work as hard, but it's for a good reason, because we're going to be the most in shape, the hardest working, and the mentally tough, the most mentally tough, man. That's the name of the game.
Wow,
so what can the fans expect from the great Myles Jack this year, man? What can we as a team expect from the great Myles Jack?
Man, just know I got to talk about it. I don't really do too much talking, but just know I'm going to be real physical. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to hit everything. I'm going to have my assignments down. And my job is just get everybody lined up and let everybody else do their thing. So as long as I take care of business, it'll be good. It'll be good.
So at the end of the day, you're just going to see Myles Jack, be Myles Jack, baby. Be great, baby. Be great.
Hey.
All right, now back to you.
Thanks, Calais Campbell. And Myles, don't lead with the helmet. Oh, boy. Penalties a problem on Saturday night and around the NFL. Jeff takes us to the film room next here on Jaguars All Access, presented by Fields Auto Group.
Welcome to Lexus of Jacksonville and Lexus of Orange Park. Hello, I'm Dan Fields.
It's time to experience all the luxury and benefits new Lexus drivers enjoy with a certified pre-owned Lexus. And every one comes with a 2-year or 20,000-mile complimentary maintenance and up to 6 years unlimited mileage warranty.
The peace of mind that gave us was certainly a big part of why we came here at Lexus.
Step up to luxury just got easier at Lexus of Jacksonville and Lexus of Orange Park.
After a major storm, you can count on JEA to safely restore power as quickly as possible, beginning with critical infrastructure, hospitals, shelters, and police and fire stations. Next, we put all of our resources into restoring power to neighborhoods and businesses. And we won't stop until every customer's outage is resolved. Because when the community you serve is home, there's more than power on the line. Learn more at JEA.com.
Here at Konica Minolta, we take pride that you don't care what we do, because by providing you with secure cloud services, expert IT support, thanks guys, innovative technology like medical imaging, and a whole host of printing capabilities.
We focus on the process, so you can focus on what you really care about, your business. You're welcome.
Attention Jaguars fans, Ashley Home Store is where you'll find the perfect Tempur-Pedic mattress to power your life. As the #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer in America and the official furniture and mattress store of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Ashley Home Store is now offering Jaguars fans special pricing and 72 months no-interest financing. Just tell them the Jaguars sent you. Plus, a portion of every mattress sold helps provide free beds to local children in need. Shop for Tempur-Pedic at Ashley Home Store today, and go Jaguars.
I was the golden boy of marketing. 988 glorious pages of advertising potential. Now there's a smarter way called LeadStream. LeadStream knows the difference between leads that just waste your time and getting the right customers to call you. So now the only business I'm taking care of is Mitchell's potty training.
Visit web.com/LeadStream and get the right customers calling you.
Jaguars All Access is presented by Fields Auto Group. It's time to step up to luxury. Go to fieldsauto.com. Fields matters because you matter.
Oh, we love our friends here at Mellow Mushroom in Avondale. Good to be back. And by the way, we love our friends at Jaguars.com as well. And they mic'd up Jadon Mickens Saturday night. Take a listen.
When I see Blake out there playing football, it makes me happy. There's no worries out there. He's going to throw what he's going to throw. He's going to run when he's going to run. Any other quarterback would have, you know what I mean? Hey, preseason, I'm trying to get there. Here, real one.
Jadon Mickens on the mic, and you can see more of that on Jaguars.com, of course, but obviously a respect for the running game of Blake Bortles from his teammates. Brent Morton along with Jeff Logman, Jaguars All Access, presented by Fields Auto Group. And, oh, Jeff, the big question, the big story around the NFL. What's the helmet rule? What's the penalties? Are we going to see flags all over the place all season?
Well, I'm very concerned about it, and I think, and rightly so, because the way that it's written, it's very loose. And it basically says that anytime a player, offensive or defensive, takes his helmet, initiates contact by lowering his head and making contact with the crown of his helmet, is subject to an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, 15 yards, and subject to possible ejection. And it's very concerning to me. Let's jump into the film room right now and take a look at 3 plays, though, that I focused in on. We come back, we'll have further conversation about maybe a remedy for this drastically changed rule.
This is the Baptist Film Room.
The first play involves roughing the passer. And Williams, the linebacker, right here on the edge, is coming unblocked. And watch what he does. He hits Kessler, and the rule states this. If you land on top of the quarterback with all or most of the weight, it will be a penalty. You can see that Williams, the linebacker, has one hand on the ground and one hand on the quarterback. Now, to me, that's not all of his weight on the quarterback. This, in my mind, should not be a penalty. Now, the second play involves the new rule with the use of the helmet. Let's take a look at Article 8's language. It is a foul if a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent. Now let's look at the play. As Boye drops into coverage, he sees the running back Ham swing to the flat. And as he comes up, he gathers his feet. Perfect position. Now let's look from the back. And I want you to see what Ham, the running back, does with his helmet. That's a battering ram, and it's a penalty whether it's an offensive player or a defensive player with the new language. How in the world can this not be offsetting fouls? I have no idea. He is absorbing most of the contact with his left shoulder. To me, this is not a foul on Boye, but this should be a foul on Ham. And I believe the new helmet rule has affected calls in other areas. Let's take a look at the hit that Jared Wilson had on the receiver. They called this a hit against a defenseless player. The defenseless player rule states that you cannot make contact to the head or neck area of a receiver. And you can see on this play, Wilson clearly hits the receiver in the chest and the side, nowhere near the head and neck. But I believe the officials have overreacted with the new rule and have expanded it into other rules. It's very concerning to me, especially the last play. I mean, you're talking about a defenseless player in this very clear head or neck area. No contact was made in the head or neck area of the receiver. And the problem is that you can clearly see that on the replay, but it's not subject to replay review. In my opinion, if you're going to have such costly penalties in both areas, defenseless receiver and helmet rule violations, Brent, you got to make them subject to review. You can't just allow the officials to maybe change the entire outcome of a game. And now, I get it. People are saying they overemphasize it in the preseason. But the problem is we just saw a perfect example from the first preseason game to the second about how widely varied the rule is going to get applied. And I think we'll see the exact same thing throughout the course of the regular season. It will change week to week on how it gets officiated based upon which crew you have.
And it could change football games. We'll see if that happens in the regular season. Hey, when we come back, here's a guy who changes football games. The man in the middle for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Malik Jackson, joins us on the show next.
Without conviction, a locker is an empty closet. Without pain, training is a wasted exercise. Without a team, a stadium is a lonely field. And without heart, you've got no will to win. Just wanting it is never enough. Action Sports Jax, 1st and 10 training camp. Who makes the team? Tonight at 11:20 on CBS 47. Presented by Bowden Eye and Associates.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
2017 began the year, my central nervous system was shutting down on me. I just kept on trying to fight through it. They knew there was something wrong and just no one could tell me what it was. It was until I was at Baptist MD Anderson, and that's where I found my diagnosis, and the search was finally over. I was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer. There's no stage 5. Baptist MD Anderson went outside the box to treat me aggressively. I'm here today solely for that reason. I can't be more grateful or thankful enough.
Little moments, big milestones. At TIAA Bank, we know the path to a lifetime of success includes some pretty meaningful stops along the way. That's why we focus on serving our clients and communities to deliver results that exceed expectations and help our clients achieve success. So while you're out there making the most of every moment, we'll be here making sure your money does too.
After a major storm, you can count on JEA to safely restore power as quickly as possible, beginning with critical infrastructure, hospitals, shelters, and police and fire stations. Next, we put all of our resources into restoring power to neighborhoods and businesses. And we won't stop until every customer's outage is resolved. Because when the community you serve is home, there's more than power on the line. Learn more at JEA.com.
Jaguars All Access is brought to you by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Fanatics, officially licensed everything. TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform.
And welcome back to Mellow Mushroom. You can probably smell the steak and cheese calzone from your television set. I know I can.
Is that what you ordered tonight?
Oh.
Brent Martin along with Jeff Loggeman. We got a big team here tonight on Jaguars All Access presented by Fields Auto Group. Let's throw it back to the Action Sports Jax studios right now and welcome in Dan Hicken, who has a special guest.
The Jaguars' defense last season, second best in the league in yards given up per game, second best in the NFL in points given up per game. One very big reason why, Malik Jackson, Pro Bowler. He's got a Super Bowl ring, and he just got back with the team from a work week in Minnesota. Malik, everyone says it was a great week, but tell us why.
First, thanks for having me. But the reason why it was a great week, because we just went up there and I think we're consistent. You know, we kind of got it from beating up ourselves and we're able to go against a different opponent. And I think we kept the same intensity, the same work ethic. And, you know, guys just knew what they were doing from the ones to the threes. It was pretty flawless. So, you know, it was good just going up there, going against a different group of guys and just testing who we are and if we can be a stable group even when we go against other people.
One season ago, you were Malik the Prophet. You said the Jags were going to be a playoffs team. Folks said, yeah, sure. Well, this offseason, TMZ got a hold of you, and you said 16-0. But that's the way you're supposed to think as a competitor, right?
Exactly. You know, I'm not supposed to think anybody can beat us, you know, and if it's crazy because if I would said we were going 8-8, guys would say, well, who are you losing to? And then that's a whole nother conversation. So, you know, I think just as of who we are, period, you know, we think we're going to go out there and beat everybody until somebody proves us different. That's just who we are.
We talked about how good the defense was one season ago, but we know what you want. You want to be historically great. So with all that said, the only way to get there is to win the big game. So with all that said, why is your defense going to be better in 2018 than it was last season?
I think now because we have this understanding of everything. You know, last year we all pretty much came together as a unit and you know, coach threw the playbook at us, but only kept it pretty basic. You know, now we're able to understand the playbook a little bit more in depth and be defense coordinators on the field and think like Coach Walsh wants to think. So it allows us to be deeper in the package and to use more tools in our toolbox, so to speak. So I think guys are just going to have, like I said, a better understanding, and we just know each other better, and you know, it's just going to be better, period.
Hey, one more thing with Malik. You've already accomplished so much in your still young career. Super Bowl, Pro Bowl. Is your best football still ahead of you?
I hope so. You know, that's what I'm working for. You know, the one thing I like to do is just keep working. You know, you should be trying to get better. If you're staying the same, you're getting worse. You know, so this year, you know, for me especially coming into camp, I just want to show I can get better, I can grow, I can understand the package more, I can do more. You know, and I can still be as fast and as shifty and as powerful as I was 3-4 years ago. You know, so it's all about getting better and understanding with age comes, you know, a little bit of craftiness, of course, but just about being consistent and slowly taking, you know, steps to get where you want to go. And yeah.
Always enjoy catching up with Malik Jackson. Thank you, Malik. Let's go back to you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan and Malik. Malik earning every penny of that contract, and now these guys want to earn a roster spot. 2 weeks away from cuts. That story next.
Don't fall for it.
Don't let insurance companies play around with your future.
There is a difference. Choose carefully.
We won't take no for an answer. We understand the pressure that you're under.
If winning is important to you, it's important to us.
Here are some of the team that will handle your case.
We are Farah and Farah.
It's a place where time slows down. It's where our heroes return. And it's where the heart is. Dreamfinders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle.
Attention Jaguars fans, Ashley Home Store is where you'll find the perfect Tempur-Pedic mattress to power your life. As the #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer in America and the official furniture and mattress store of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Ashley Home Store is now offering Jaguars fans special pricing and 72 months no-interest financing. Just tell them the Jaguars sent you. Plus, a portion of every mattress sold helps provide free beds to local children in need. Shop for Tempur-Pedic at Ashley Home Store today. And go Jaguars.
I was the golden boy of marketing. 988 glorious pages of advertising potential. Now there's a smarter way called LeadStream. LeadStream knows the difference between leads that just waste your time and getting the right customers to call you. So now the only business I'm taking care of is Mitchell's potty training.
Visit web.com/leadstream and get the right customers calling you.
Welcome to Lexus of Jacksonville and Lexus of Orange Park. Hello, I'm Dan Fields.
It's time to experience all the luxury and benefits new Lexus drivers enjoy with a certified pre-owned Lexus. And every one comes with a 2-year or 20,000-mile complimentary maintenance and up to 6 years unlimited mileage warranty.
The peace of mind that gave us was certainly a big part of why we came here at Lexus.
Step up to luxury just got easier at Lexus of Jacksonville and Lexus of Orange Park.
Now, your Gatorade headlines.
Let's take a look at what we have coming up week 3 of the preseason. More playing time for the first teamers, although they did go almost a complete first half against the Minnesota Vikings. There are some injuries in the trenches. Good news on Brandon Linder, though. It looks like that's not a serious injury. That's very important. And the position battles continue. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but it'll be a big game against the Atlanta Falcons as that game presented by Next Grill on Saturday night, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. At TIAA Bank Field. Live look outside Mellow Mushroom in Avondale. These folks and that good-looking truck will be here every week outside Mellow Mushroom. Word is there'll be giveaways and you can play Madden inside that truck. So how about that? Be a lot of fun all season long here at Mellow Mushroom. All right, this week in Minnesota, you thought it was a break for the Jaguars players.
Well, I think it was a refreshing break because a normal Jaguars practice has about 110 team reps. A practice against the Minnesota Vikings averaged 60.
Wow.
So about half. So I think the players were very much refreshed in the Vikings game. The other thing that was impressive to me, and I know it was to you, Brent, how about the $150 million complex that the Vikings have?
That was pretty awesome.
Wow.
How about 2 position battles? Give them all something to look for Saturday night. Receiver, right?
Well, I think receiver is huge, and there's 5 or 6 guys that are going to make the team. Who's going to be the punt returner? That's a huge question going forward. The other thing, or group, I would say, and it's not so much a battle with guys on the roster, but it's going to be a battle with guys that may not be on the roster. Linebacker.
Keep an eye on it. For Jeff Lageman, I'm Brent Martineau. That will do it from Mellow Mushroom. Hey, we've started our 2018 season. Come join us every Monday night live.